I like looked away and then your card moved. Hi Taurus, hope you guys are doing wonderful. Thank you for coming back to the Sapphire Spider Oracle channel. If you're returning and if you're a new listener, thank you so much for stopping by. Our little reading is for the Virgo full moon here in Pisces season, which is, if it's not happening, it's tomorrow, I believe, when I'm recording this anyway. Trying to get these posts. Look, this one wants to reveal itself to you. this dove image right here. So that might be coming through for you, Taurus. We're about to get started. So Virgo full moon energy reading. Let's definitely start with this oracle animal card. It's like ready to go. Let's see what comes out for you. That bear trying to pop at you too. I'm gonna close my eyes. We landed on a horse. Okay. This one's interesting. I do love this card. I've had a lot of the cards here in these last few pulls where it's got the frame. There's something very much about the shape of the moon, and this one is particularly an oval, so it's kind of giving me an egg reference right now. But it's very much showing me these like vignettes this time around in this reading. So let's take a look. Horse is about friendship, wisdom, and strength. The horse is a kind, intelligent beast that has frequently been associated with propitious events. In the Chinese zodiac, horse people are friendly, adventurous, and passionate. Hey, hey, I'm a horse person, represent. In Greek mythology, the winged horse Pegasus was the source of inspiration and poetry. Horses have also been associated with sexuality or fertility. In the Hindu Ramayana, the king Dasaratha asks the gods to grant him a son, and to please them, sets a magnificent horse free for 1 year. Upon the horse's return, Dasaratha receives word that he will have 4 sons. And sorry if you just heard my son like go off in the background. All of whom became the incarnation of the god Vishnu, the preserver of life on earth. The horse in this painting, titled Age of the Avatar, recalls the magnificent horse of the Ramayana. The Hindu word avatara, descent to earth, refers to Vishnu's ability to assume an earthly form. So you got some Vishnu energy up in here. Vishnu energy is really nice. I was going to say... very much associated with water and rivers, at least from my own personal experience with it. And I was gonna say, when I pull this card, I do often pull in that reference of the children. It tends to come in, but it's not certain at this moment if that is like the purpose of the reading. So a horse is guiding you though, and horses are really good symbols of power and strength and forward movement. Ooh, Taurus. And let's just see what we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pisces had a lot of cards too, Taurus. Let me back up my crystals a little bit. So Taurus, you've got a lot of cards right now too. I just said all these eyes staring at me. Ooh, okay, let me say that because I've been having visions of that lately. Like, I even had a vision the other day in my meditation. I wasn't even in this room. This is my office. And I had this vision of my office door being cracked and some, like, shining eyes, almost like cat eyes, out in my hallway, like, watching me. I always recommend that you do protection when you feel like maybe something's like watching you type deal. So if that's the vibe you're catching, maybe that's a hint that you need to do some protection. Amethyst, salt, all that stuff. That's kind of coming through for you guys, Taurus. This is just the Ujjayi, which is the Eye of Ra, or it's the Eye of Horus. There's 2 of them actually, and so it can kind of be both in that sense. And they are symbols of protection themselves, and sight and clear vision. So, and I always protect the space before I start. So let's start with your reading. Wow. this card got like kind of crazy. It was saying like, oh, we're sailing, and then it like turned into the song that the Cheshire Cat sings in Alice in Wonderland, where it's like, "'Twas brillig in the Boragos, did gyre and wimble in the wave." And so it's funny, I'm actually drinking out of a Alice in Wonderland teacup right now. I can't tilt it too much, but the Mad Hatter's on there, and the Cheshire Cat is actually on the inside. And that's funny because the Six of Swords is all about kind of like changing your mind, so like movement in your mind. And Alice does that a lot when she's in Wonderland. She has to know which direction to go, and they're clearly having to steer and find which direction to go. Same thing with our thoughts, same thing with our decisions. And so it's like you're trying to figure out which way to go, and it's like spirits just came in here like a Cheshire Cat. So then that's where you gotta figure out, right? Like, and the reason it wants to say the reason why the Cheshire Cat is such a trickster energy is because the real power lies in the power of choice, and you are meant to make your own choices. So spirit can guide you all the time. It also wants to say there's never a right or wrong choice. That's not how choice is seen in the universe. That is a human, earthly concept. There is, like, every choice is a possibility, is what it really looks like in the universe. And therefore, it kind of comes in like there's technically bad choices and good choices, and you can sort out which one's like that for yourself. But at the same time, sometimes what we think is a good choice, plenty of other voices are out there saying is a bad choice, right? And it might be the perfect choice for you. So that's where it's like, it can get a little tricky sometimes when you're listening to other people's voices telling you what to do, which way to go. It can feel like you're getting tricked sometimes by the universe, and that's where the universe is saying, like, the Cheshire Cat is there to guide you. Spirits are there to guide you. They're not there to tell you what to do. I needed that message too sometimes, you know? And that's the thing, is they're not there to tell you what to do. You are the one that is inhabiting a body here on this earthly realm, and you literally have a physical body in which you can make choices and do things with. Spirits are not. They have moved beyond that realm, at least if they were living here and they passed on, right? Like, they don't work in that realm. So it doesn't matter like what the guidance is, like, you have to literally act it out. This is powerful. And I was gonna say, I heard the voice in my head say the Queen's Way out of like the Alice in Wonderland, but this is not the Red Queen, this is the Queen of Swords. It is saying like she can take your head off, right? She's a Queen of Swords, off with their heads. But at the same time, this queen feels, oh nice, oh nice. It brought me to like the more updated version of Alice in Wonderland, the Tim Burton version, that's the live action. And then there's the White Queen. And it's funny because the White Queen's actually the very prissy kind of like queen, right? And like doesn't want to ever get her hands dirty, and she's very dainty and sweet and like all that stuff. And that's how it's really presenting her, but it's kind of coming out much stronger. It's not that the White Queen wasn't ever strong, it was just that the Red Queen got a hold and like took a grip on Wonderland, right? And the White Queen holds out for a very long time and kind of minds her business and stays away, which is very Queen of Swords energy. But at the same time, it's talking about the Queen's Way. So what would that other queen do in Wonderland is kind of what it's coming out to. If the Red Queen did all of this, what is the White Queen of Wonderland going to do? So, how interesting. It just brought the song back to me. It's like this was like a journey, which is not always an Eight of Wands interpretation, but it's like it's kind of like by land or by sea, the Queen's Way will get done. And this is where it would just show me like, just like Alice walking through that weird little forest, and it's just like, I'm on my journey, I'm on my way. And the Eight of Wands is definitely about movement. I mean, look at him. Like, that's the widest stride in pretty much this whole deck. His foot is up. Most of the Egyptian drawings in here, their feet are all flat on the ground because that's how they're depicted. So to even see that foot, that heel up off the ground, very much is implying that movement. This is like a journey in your mind, a journey in your spirit, both on sea and on land. Wow, and then it just said, and now it just gave me walking in a winter wonderland, which I've actually had a lot of Christmas songs here this past week, and part of me was like, what's up with that? Like, we're definitely not in Christmas season. And it was reminding me that, like, according to more realistic documentation and expectations, how we actually think that Jesus was born in the spring, not in the winter, and how like the dates are actually mixed up a little. And so like there's been a lot of Christ energy around, and so therefore it's been giving me a lot of Christmas songs. And so it just said walking in a winter wonderland. It's very much about how you feel that kind of Christ-like energy around, universal consciousness, blessings type deal. Oh, whew. There's the Red Queen. That's the Queen of Wands. But that's the thing, when the Red Queen, like, let's step a little bit away from the Wonderland stuff. The Queen of Wands, if there was a Red Queen in a deck, it would be her. Because when this Queen of Wands is in reverse, buddy, she is fiery, and she will for sure, she's not going to cut your head off, though. She's going to bite your head off. And that's what's so interesting, though, is because seeing both of this and having these references that have already been coming out before I flip the cards, it's like you're at that leg of the journey in Wonderland where you're about to get to the Red Queen. And the whole thing about the Red Queen is you have to please the Red Queen or she's going to bite your head off. This is a fire energy, so there's very much a fire sign energy here. You have to please her or she'll cut your head off in a heartbeat. And so that's where it's like she's and this kind of, for some reason, these lotus flowers are coming through today as like the flamingos and the croquet mallets and like the croquet garden and stuff. Like, could you imagine trying to play croquet with one of these little lotus wands kind of deal? And that's what it's saying. It's like you might get there and be like, whoa, this is crazy, or she's crazy, or something like that. And it's just saying, like, watch your tongue. Like, you better hold out and like just pay attention to what she's got to show you and teach you, because seeing both of these queens here stepping away from one to move towards the other. There's also almost like this queen ordered this person to go talk to this queen kind of deal. Like, hey, I need you. I've made up my mind. I need you to journey over here and come say something to this queen for whatever reason. So there's movement and communication between these two queen energies. It does not have to be two females. It's just almost like inner communication. That's the other thing too. Feminine energy is always happening within. So this is the feeling and the knowing. This is like pure intuition between two different people happening and talking. I've made up my mind. I know which direction I'm sailing in now. Hey, conscience is what it kind of just said. Will you go intuitively chat to this queen over here? And this could be the two sides of yourself, Taurus, like inwardly and outwardly. You could just be like, self, I need to talk to self. Will you get us together so we can have a conference type deal? That's like totally what's going on in this pile right here. All right, let's get down to this lower row. Ooh, look at that 6-6 coming out. That is it just said soulmate number. And that's where it was saying, like, I've made up my mind and said I'm going after my soulmate. Now, for you guys, that doesn't have to be romantic at all. Soulmates can totally just be your friends, your family members, and things like that. So there seems to be a situation where maybe you were hung up in maybe deciding on something. Which way should I go? And it goes, hold up, hang on, I'm ready. I'm going after my soulmate. I'm going after my soulmate is what it says. 6 of Cups is also about nostalgia, memory, past lives. It's about, sometimes in another deck that I have, it very much comes through, actually most decks, it comes through as children sometimes too, which ties into that whole memory, past lives, like things like that. Companionship in general, very much in a sisterly way. There's a lot of sister energy coming out here in this Taurus pile, between these two queens, between these two figures here. Sister energy, it wants to say that your sister sign is the opposite sign across the zodiac wheel from you. So you might actually find a lot of information either in the sister reading, like my video, go check that out maybe, or maybe you have a sister that is an opposite sign. Maybe you just have a sister. Or maybe there's a friend that you know that like you just really get along with and you learn a lot from, and they're probably on that opposite side of the zodiac wheel. So there's some of that in here too. With this Three of Wands, it said I'm waiting, and that's where under this Queen of Swords is like I'm waiting on a response. Three of Wands is always about waiting for your ships to come in, and there's literally waiters right here, like carrying trays and stuff, almost like butlers a little bit. And that's what I mean, this total queen vibe right here on this Queen of Swords, like up in her castle, sending people out to do the errands for her. And that's where it's like, I'm gonna sit here and wait for my ships to come in. I sent this energy out. I'm gonna wait on the universe to bring it back to me before I make a move. And that is a very smart Queen of Swords. Where a Queen of Wands is very fiery and would maybe like jump into the fray and like go after the answer. The Queen of Swords is, no, I have posed my answer, my decision, my question to the universe. I've sent that information out. I know what I want. I'm going to wait for it all to come back to me. So in a sense, it said I'm going after my soulmate. And now it's like you're waiting on the universe to be like, okay, and like get all that together. And that's also the message over here to this Queen of Wands. I'm going after my soulmate. And the universe is like, okay, or hopefully, right? Let's turn over these next few cards. How interesting. Look at this pairing right here. So we have the Eight of Wands and the Seven of Wands. And that's where it's going to say that this journey, this movement and communication has not always been easy, may not be easy. You might have to fight off some crocodiles. You might have to fight off some crocodiles. And how interesting. I love the way that they are, I don't love the way, but how interesting that they are like under the platform this guy is standing on, literally like lurking. And look at that wicked smile on that crocodile there. Like he is just waiting for this guy to fall in so that he can eat him. And that's where there's a lot of like being careful. It's very possible to misstep and fall in, lose your footing. If you succumb to these crocodiles, then you won't make it. Wow, it's giving me, I haven't even watched this movie. I just know it from the trailer. Okay, well, it wants me to say the movie Dunkirk for some reason for some of you guys, but that's not the movie. It just came out like last year or the year before, and it was supposedly incredible cinematography. Was it 9? It's like about World War One, I think. Maybe World War Two. I think it's like 1914 or something like that. It was, okay, anyway, I'll say the trailer. The trailer was like, the guy's like, you have to go get this message to your brother because they're all walking into a trap. And if you don't, then like 10,000 men are going to die. And the whole movie is about this one guy who's a soldier way over here. His brother's a soldier way over, you know, wherever. And the guy's whole journey of getting there to deliver the message so that he can save his brother. And I'm sorry if you can hear my son getting like, he's playing a video game right now. He was just yelling. So if you heard that, that's what I mean. There's kind of like, there's this like desperation to get this message across. And it's a journey. And there's some pressure to get through some obstacles and fight to get this message there. And that's where this is such a queen. This is such a queen vibe because it's like, this is urgent. I need you to get this message over here. Right? And then the decision to go after whatever this connection is, whatever this is. It's like, I have to, and that's the other thing, it's saying like, I have to stay here and wait. Why? Because you got a kingdom to rule. So I need this message to go out. And it's like, there's some things along the way that it runs into, but it's fighting, it's trying. Look at that though. And look what I was saying, Taurus, at the beginning about the shapes of the eyes. Look, this one right here is like holding and presenting that eye of protection at the end to the queen. And that's the other thing. It's almost like this guy transforms into this figure once he gets there to the queen, and is like, there's a message for you, there's an offer, there's a message of protection and security and everything here, right? Like, you are protected, I've been watching over you, this is solid, we're good to go. This is an Ace of Pentacles. This is a real world brand new beginning of some kind. Some of you guys, this is for sure like your inner self having a conversation, trying to get across to the other half of yourself that you want to make a decision and go after something. And it's been really difficult because Taurus, you're an earth sign, and it's pretty hard for us to make big decisions because we like to overthink a lot of stuff, and we get very much lost along the way in our Wonderland journey because there's a lot of side quests and thoughts and things, right? And some of those take us down roads that can be very difficult. And meanwhile, the other half of us is like, when am I going to do this, right? When am I going to make this choice? When am I going to do what's right for me? And it's almost like you're waiting on the other half of yourself to say, either go crazy to the point where you just make this choice because you have to, or the other half of yourself to say, okay, I agree, let's do this. And that's what this kind of final card is coming out. It's like the two halves of yourself are like, we are committed to this decision. We know we are protected. We see the signs. It's solid. It's good to go. Like, and that's kind of the message that comes out of this queen too. Underneath it, it's the message she receives, and it's also therefore kind of like the message that comes back. Which sounds great, right? Let's do it. Let's start it. Let's begin it. What's on the bottom of the deck for you guys, Taurus? Seven of Cups. Lots of, that's what I was saying about like the journey and everything. Lots of different opportunities and offers and dreams and things to consider. Choose the right cup. And how interesting that in this cup right here, it's red. And that's what I mean. Wands energy is your spirit. It's fire energy. It's willpower. You have to have the willpower to do things. Just because you make a decision does not mean it's going to happen. These masculine energies represent action. You have to put the action in, and that comes from willpower. And so if your willpower is supporting your ideas and you start putting the action in to go after the things that you're wanting and waiting for, then you are solid and good to go. And that's the whole point, is like, choose your cup wisely, approach yourself wisely. No, it's not always going to be easy to make a decision. You're going to have to fight within your spirit sometimes, but you are worth it. You are a queen over here and you're a queen over here. And that's the other reminder coming through, Taurus, is like, no matter what, you are a queen. No matter which way you go. And we always have two halves of ourselves. All of us have two sides to ourselves. And it's not that one side is worse than the other or better than the other. Both are valid. Both are worthy of making their choices. And yet at the same time, if we want to do things in life, we got to get the two sides of ourselves together. Otherwise, we're not moving. We're torn apart. And we've got all this journey in the way. And with this horse coming through, and we're talking about this journey, like this horse is power and pushing you through. Like, get on that horse and go. Make your decisions and then go for it. And especially this was about like soulmates, and this guy like releases a horse and then it comes back and he finds about children. It's supposed to mean soul connections, children, soulmates type deal. There's some stuff here for sure. Like, it's very fluid, but it should resonate for you guys for at least something or someone. That's what I got for you, Taurus. Thank you so much, and I will catch you guys on the next reading. Happy full moon.